Hello students, welcome to the channel. In this video, we'll solve the third writing passage of the April 2019 US test, Free to Sing. For centuries, Japanese bird enthusiasts have bred white-rumped munias, brown finches with tufts of white feathers for its plumage. So here I have to decide the correct pronoun, and I'm referring to white-rumped munias in the plural, right? So I should use the plural pronoun. So that has to be there. Japanese enthusiasts have bred munias for their plumage. So its is singular, so it can't be option A. And once is used when the sentence already has one, and it anyway is used for a person, not for a bird. And his or her is also wrong, so it's C. Generations of this selective breeding have produced a new species, the Bengalese finch, while existing only in captivity. Now, if I say while existing only in captivity, first of all, that doesn't convey the idea that the Bengalese finch exists only in captivity. And the semicolon is also incorrect because a semicolon can only come between two independent sentences. So it's not A. Option B is good. The Bengalese finch, which exists only in captivity, and a comma after finch is correct. Now, if I say the Bengalese finch, it exists only in captivity, then I can't have a comma here because it exists only in captivity is a complete sentence. And if I say existing only in captivity, then I need a comma, not a semicolon, because the part after that is not an independent sentence. So B. Such breeding was intended to produce certain physical qualities in the domesticated finches, but it has also had an unintended consequence: increased song complexity in the Bengalese finch relative to that of the white-rumped munia. Okay, so here I'm saying it has also had an unintended consequence, and then I'm describing that consequence, right? So a colon makes sense here because a colon sets up expectation for whatever has been said. So I like B. The way it's written is wrong because I need to indicate a break after consequence. So without any punctuation, I can't do that. I can't have a semicolon because increased song complexity, that part is not an independent sentence. So this is wrong. And similarly, I can't have a full stop because the second part is not independent. Okay, increased song complexity in the Bengalese finch relative to that of the white-rumped munia. So I'm comparing song complexity with song complexity, right? So you always need to make like comparisons. So song complexity in the finch relative to that of the white-rumped munia. So this that of is used to indicate song complexity. So the way it's written is good. Okay, when compared with those of, that those is plural, and that is incorrect because song complexity is singular. So I need a singular comparison. And when compared with and relative to is not correct because I need to compare, as I said, song complexity with song complexity. If I do not include that of, then I'm simply comparing song complexity with the bird. And that's an incorrect comparison. So option A. To explain this phenomenon, Tokyo ornithologist Kazuo Okanaya at first reasoned that finch song complexity was driven primarily by mate selection. He found that female finches tend to choose males with loud, high-pitched improvisational songs. These males are chosen over those with soft, low-pitched, predictable songs. So breeders selecting reproductively successful birds must also have selected the most dynamic singers. Which choice most effectively combines the sentences? So female finches tend to choose males with loud, high-pitched improvisational songs over those with low-pitched predictable songs. So this is correct. It conveys the idea and it uses as few words as possible. So I like A. Males with loud, high-pitched improvisational songs tend to be the ones chosen by female finches over those with soft, low-pitched, predictable songs. Now, this is not correct because one, I'm shifting from passive voice to active voice, right? Because this first part is passive, and then I'm comparing males with males, so that is not very clear. So B is not a good answer. He found that loud, high-pitched improvisational songs are sung by males that female finches tend to choose over those with soft, low-pitched songs. So again, this is passive voice. Choosing males with loud, high-pitched improvisational songs over those with soft, predictable songs is what female finches tend to do. So here again, I'm kind of putting the subject in the end. So the best answer with the correct subject placement and active voice is option A. However, Berkeley anthropologist Terence Deacon saw a contradiction in this idea. Song complexity should occur when there is pressure to identify a mate of the same species. After all, it should not occur among birds in captivity where this pressure is lower. So here I need to decide the correct connector. So Terence Deacon said that song complexity should be a factor when there is a pressure to identify a mate, right? But that is not the case among birds in captivity where this pressure is lower. So after all is not the correct connector because after all is used to indicate the final outcome after everything else has been considered, right? So I really wanted to attend the event and I tried, but after all, I could not, which is to say that there were many factors that prevented me from attending it. So that doesn't make sense here because I have kind of a cause effect relationship between the two sentences. So it's not A. Instead is used to indicate another option. So that is not the right answer here. Therefore is correct because I'm saying that song complexity occurs when there is pressure. So therefore it should not occur when the birds are in captivity. So this sounds good. And similarly is used when you're presenting a similar or analogous situation. So that's not the case here. So the best answer should be C. Deacon proposed instead that since white-rumped munias in more homogeneous groups lack pressure to find other white-rumped munias, random genetic mutations that result in song improvisation are allowed to propagate, leading to more complex songs. To test this hypothesis, Okunoya's team tracked wild white-rumped munias in 3 areas in Taiwan. At each site, they diagnosed flock composition, the percentage of observed flocks that were mixed containing white-rumped munias and another species, scaly-breasted munias, and measured the linearity of the songs, a calculation based on the number of elements where 1 is simple and 0 is complex. Okay, so at each site they diagnosed, that is not the correct usage because to diagnose is to kind of figure out what disease a person or an entity has. So that's not what we are talking about. We are basically saying that they analyzed flock composition, right? They looked at the flock composition and they came to some results based on that. So D should be the right answer. Okay, dissected also is not used in this context. To dissect is to kind of go really deep into something. So one usage of dissection is the actual laboratory usage when you cut up an animal and look at its insides. But dissect can also be used to, for example, to dissect a problem, which is to say to go into the depths of a problem. So that also doesn't make sense here. And to trace is to go after something, right? For example, to trace animals in the wild. But that's not what we are saying here. We are looking at the composition of the flock, right? So analysis would be the best answer. The linearity at the mountainous site was more than 0.1 lower than that at the urban site or the agricultural site, indicating greater song complexity. Which choice best reflects the information presented in figure 1? Okay, so we know that 0 is complex and 1 is simple. So the lower it is, the greater the complexity. So the linearity at the mountainous site was more than 0.1 lower than that at the urban site or the agricultural site, indicating greater song complexity. So that seems right because agricultural and urban are about 0.7 and mountainous is less than 0.6. So the difference is more than 0.1. So A is correct. More than 0.2 lower? No, it's not more than 0.2 lower. It's the difference is about 0.1. About the same level as that at the urban site? No, that's not correct. About 0.7 points higher than at the urban site. So that also is incorrect. So A is the right answer. At the same time, a lower percentage of flocks at the urban site were mixed than at the mountainous site. Okay, so we are looking at the second figure now. Together, these data suggest that higher song complexity is associated with greater flock uniformity. Okay, so which choice? So here the percentage of flocks, observed flocks that were mixed. So it was really low at the mountainous site. So what are we saying here? A lower percentage of flocks at the urban site were mixed. So that is wrong because at the urban site, it's a higher percentage. So it's not A. At the same time, a greater percentage of flocks at the urban and agricultural sites were mixed than at the mountainous site. This is correct because we can see that at the urban and the agricultural site, the percentage of mixed flocks is greater than at the mountainous site. Over 40% of flocks were mixed at both the urban site and the mountainous site. So that is not correct. The numbers are lower than 40 for both. And the percentage of flocks that were mixed grew slightly over time. So this graph does not track time. So D is also incorrect. It's B. So they came to the conclusion that higher song complexity is associated with greater flock uniformity. Okunaya's study indicates that song complexity is subject to the pressure of the bird's need to identify a mate of the same species. When this pressure is relaxed, song complexity increases rather than decreases. Okay, so here I need to decide the punctuation and this comma is not needed because normally after that, I would not require a comma. It's a continuous sentence. So A is incorrect. The dash is also not needed. I don't need to show a break after that. A comma after indicates is also wrong because as I said, it's a continuous sentence, so that's not needed. So no punctuation indicates that. Such relaxation explains song complexity in the white-rumped Munia's descendant, the domesticated Bengalese finch, and provides intriguing support for the idea that birdsong can evolve through a complex interaction of selective pressures. The writer wants a conclusion that places the passage's discussion within a larger scientific context, which choice best accomplishes this goal. Okay, so we have seen that in the case of the white-rumped Munia, there was a correlation between flock uniformity and song complexity, which is to say that there was a correlation between the pressure to mate and song complexity. And so this indicates that in the Munia's descendant, the Bengalese finch, with which we started the passage, there is support for the idea that birdsong can evolve through an interaction of selective pressure. So the way it's written actually captures the nub of the passage. So I like A. Suggests that white-rumped munias and other birds do not have to be domesticated to develop complex songs. No, so that's not the point of the passage. It's not about domesticating versus non-domesticated. It's about the pressures, the selective pressures, pressures to mate, etc., that apply and which have an effect on song complexity. So I don't like B. proves that habitat has more to do with birdsong complexity than does any specific mating pressure. So again, this is not being directly or definitively proved. Both of them are shown to have some effect on song complexity, so it's not C. Indicates that white-rumped munias have more complex songs than do other kinds of birds. No, so there is no comparison made of song complexity between the white-rumped munia and other kinds of birds. So option A is the best answer. Okay, let's grade this. 23. CBBAA, CBBAA, 28, CDABDA, CDABDA. Okay, great. So we got all correct. Hope this exercise helped. I'll see you guys in a new video soon. Take care. Bye-bye.